Good evening, Ashish.
Ma'am. Hello.
Good evening, Ashish.
Begin.
May I request all the participants to kindly put their mics and their videos turned off? Participants, may I kindly request your mics and video to be kept turned off during the webinar? Thank you. Over to you, Ashish.
All right, we'll begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the webinar Tête-à-Tête with our Alumni. This is our second edition, and today we bring you two of our very young, very old, young, skillful, and talented ex-students who will be talking about the technicalities of pursuing higher education, post hotel management graduation. They will try to guide you to understand for yourself if you should consider higher education. The focus of this particular webinar is to break down each and every process of future studies, particularly overseas. We would like it if you kept a pen and paper handy to make notes. So to begin with, we have amidst us Mr. Sanal Menon, a sincere, hardworking, and bright personality who graduated in the year 2014. He has worked with reputed hotels like St. Regis, Mumbai, and JW Marriott. Life is about chasing your dreams and passion, and that's what made Sanal move to Canada to pursue a PG diploma in Advanced Business Management in Alcoholic Beverages. Sharing the panel with him, we have Mr. Fauzan Qazi from the 2017 batch. He started off as a front office group coordinator at the Oberoi, Mumbai. Fauzan eventually set foot to study diploma in patisserie from one of the most renowned institutes in the world, and that is the University of Bloom in Melbourne. But he couldn't resist the calling of the dream space as well. So today's webinar is hosted from 3 countries, and that would be India, Dubai, and Canada. I thank you both for being a part of this webinar despite the varied time zone. I can also see the Sanal has kept awake all throughout the night just to host this webinar. I'm also really excited to begin this conversation with the two of you. I would want to inform the viewers that this is a very interactive session, and you can ask as many relevant questions as you'd like. And that would actually help you to understand to understand the process better. So we'd like to begin with, I'd like you to begin with introducing yourself so our viewers get to know you better. Over to you, Sanal.
Thank you, Ashish. How are you holding up with the current situation?
Very well. I'm actually getting a grip of the current situation. So yeah, doing pretty well there.
Okay. So hello everyone. I'm Sanal, ex Anjuman-I, passed out in the year 2014. It's an honor to be part of this webinar. I would like to thank our beloved management of Anjuman-I-Islam for allowing me to share my wonderful experiences out here with you all. Okay, so for others to know, I was born and brought up in Mumbai, but I'm originally from Kerala. Oh yes, I'm a Mallu. And yeah, if you ask me, uh, first of all, I never wanted to pursue hotel management. Sometimes you end up doing something that you never thought of in your life, and that is exactly what happened in my case. And secondly, I had no clue about this course. Like if you remember what Mr. Kamath said in the previous webinar, it's not that you'll be given a manager position straight away after you pass out from the college. So yeah, I guess I was one of them who did not know what this course was all about until I joined hotel management. It was trending ever since then, and it really tickles your fancy, just to try this glamorous program which comes with luxuries, where you get to visit or work at 5-star properties. So yeah, It was never planned in my case, and if you look at it now, I have zero regrets. Um, so I happened to join this program at Anjuman-I-Islam, which has been around as long as the college has the reputation throughout the industry, which has been nothing but perfect. Uh, I did my internship with the Trident Merriman Point, and I've managed to work with a lot of Anjuman graduates there and found that they were very, very well trained. Trust me, I was lucky to be part of that college that was providing those excellent apprentices to the industry. Well, I have an overall 5 years of experience in food and beverage industry. During this period, I was working with Centriges Mumbai and JW Marriott Marquis Dubai. And at present, I'm in Canada all by myself, pursuing my post-graduation diploma, that is Advanced Business Management in Alcoholic Beverages. Well, in short, that's all about me. Over to you, Fauzan.
Thank you, Sanal. Thank you, Ashish. And firstly, I would like to thank my college and my principals for giving me the opportunity to, at least speak about on this topic. And I feel very extremely privileged to introduce myself. So, my friends, I'm Fauzan Qazi from the batch of 2017. My introduction, I call it as a story, to be very honest. I grew up I was born in Mumbai, but I shifted to Kuwait in the year 2010, where I did my senior years of schooling and my junior college. And during that time, during summer holidays, I used to have long summer holidays. I used to do a lot of baking at that point of time. And my cousins used to be my tasters. They used to just relish everything, whatever I used to bake for them. And that's when I realized that, I should pursue hospitality management and I become a chef. So after 12th standard, I moved back to Mumbai and I chose Anjuman-I-Islam as my college. And that's where my journey began for 3 long years at Anjuman. And yeah, that's how I started. And then by the end of the first year, I had my internship in my hand. I was training at Trident Bandrakula, something which I'm very, very proud of. Really proud of that property. And in that, when you start your internship, you understand that, it's not just kitchen that you went into. There are many other departments. And you start having liking towards other department other than the department that you had thought of joining actually. Then I was quite into focus into front office. So front office was not major operations for me at that point of time. It was just bell desk and acting as a welcome assistant and assessing guests. So it was fun. It was something I decided when I went back to college that, I'll do my third year and specialization in front office and rooms division management. I cracked through the Oberoi Mumbai and then I began working with them after graduation. I worked with Oberoi Mumbai for 6 long months and I worked as a group coordinator. In fact, when I started as a group coordinator, I was pretty excited. I used to relieve people at the reception and I was trained in other parts of the front office section. But then all of a sudden, for all time, I was at group desk and taking care of all the group business, bookings, and so on and so forth. Then after a bit, that journey started becoming very repetitive and I started losing all the interest and even the challenges that I was facing were pretty much repetitive. Like the challenge that I'm facing today is going to be the same the very next day. So that was something I was started getting bored and I wasn't satisfied with it at all. Then I thought of one point there, I thought of, getting into something which I'm very skilled at or something that I have hands-on skills toward it. And I thought of getting into patisserie and reliving my dream that I used to think when, I'll join hotel school for something. Then that's how I came to a conclusion that I'll get into patisserie. And this time my cousins won't be my customers. Actual customers will be like more of a professional world for me. So then I began researching my college and I was pretty sure that I'll go with Le Cordon Bleu. I chose the Australian campus. Then in Australia also there are 5 more campuses. Then I narrowed down to Melbourne being the food capital where I studied for a year and a half, 9 months being on campus and 6 months as an internship, which was a part of the Australian qualification. So I worked at Sofitel Melbourne. I really liked the exposure in a 5-star hotel over there because it works a bit differently out there. It's not just how we have it in India, like more than 15 people as a team in a department. it was more like 4 people, including the executive pastry chef, sous chef, and the 2 interns under them. So it was quite a challenging experience, a lot of learning, because for me it was a departmental change, but I really learned a lot in the 9 months. So it's certainly that, I chose the correct institute in terms of having the hands-on skill for getting into pastry particularly. So yeah, that's how I began into patisserie. Then I started with Sofitel Melbourne. Then I moved back to Mumbai to look for a job. And that's how I'm in Dubai right now, working as a commie too. And my aim is to just follow my pathway, what I've thought of myself, and get into the line of trajectory and become a great pastry chef in the future. But to be very honest with you, I really consider it my journey as a story, to be frank with you, because ironically, it has a lot of. Ironically, I ended up into patisserie itself, but it has a lot of obstacles and twists in my story, and the twist is specifically the departmental change, which I find it
Totally
funny and
changed, yeah.
daunting, but it was difficult.
Thank you so much. And honestly, yes, it is very daunting because making that switch from that means that you have to start from scratch, and that is kind of that exactly is what you need to have a lot of strategy to do that. And you did it quite well. You pursued further studies, and you're doing pretty well. I mean, I understand that you have a lot ahead of you, but you're doing really well right now. And actually, I think
Thank you,
you're
Ashish.
making your cousins your guinea pigs that really paid off actually.
Thank you.
All right. So let's begin with questions. The question is for you, Sanal. How would you
Yes,
describe your
Ashish.
transition from college to working in 5 years?
Can't hear him.
Hello.
Studying business management in alcoholic beverage. I mean, why do you do it? Hello?
Hello. Yeah. Can you repeat the
Yes.
question, please? Sorry.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, sorry. So the question is for you, Sanal. How would you
Yeah.
describe your transition from college to working for 5 years to studying business management in alcoholic beverages? Why did you choose this?
Um, Ashish, on the first place, what I think where Anjuman really sets apart from other colleges, and I'm sure even you and Fauzan will agree to that, is the people that we have there, or the instructors, professors, faculty that are there. They have a wealth of knowledge. I would say, during my time, they were able to bridge a gap between just teacher and student, and they were really a mentor to me. Where through a campus interview, I got selected at St. Regis Hotel, being one of the top hotels in Mumbai, where I was given an opportunity to be part of the pre-opening team of one of the restaurants. I worked there for almost 3 years, and that has catapulted my career. I moved to Dubai JW Marriott Marquis, which is also the world's tallest hotel tower, and I was working with city's finest steakhouse for almost 2 years. And by now, I'm sure you guys must be thinking that everything sounds so perfect. So what made me choose to go for the further studies after 5 years? Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, 5 years, that's a long time. I agree that I have a decent multi-cuisine experience. I know how the restaurant operates, but if you're really planning to start your own business, it is very important that you know how the back end works too. So from the distribution of the beverages to the supply chain, which includes import, export, and logistic part of it, and mainly highlighting the global regulatory framework. So that is what exactly this course is all about that I'm pursuing. You will gain practical experience and insight into how the business of alcoholic beverages is managed. And by now, I've also innovated my own beverage. It's an RTD cocktail and a Himalayan gin. So, well, made a lot of research and study about the botanicals that are available in Himalayas. It's trending nowadays, and it's nowhere to see like anywhere in Toronto. So I have a complete business plan starting from sales and marketing strategies to sales projection, etc. Well, haven't really published it yet. Waiting for the right time. So you know, Ashish, why I shared this with you? Because I know you would want to invest in this plan, and I
The
can see
next
that
flight
on
to
your face.
Canada. On the
I
next
can see
flight to
that on your
Canada.
face. I won't. I won't say no. I promise. So yeah, please.
Super. Yes, of course. I mean, you've come a long way. Deciding
Yeah.
to study further after working for 5 years, getting so much of, gathering so much of knowledge, and then moving on to pursuing studies. This really goes to say that there is no age, there's no limit to when you should begin studying. But you should be really clear in the head when what you need to do, what you want to do in the
I
future.
agree.
And I think that comes along with time as time
Yeah.
passes because when you're working, you're exposed to a lot of things, and it keeps you creative. And that's when you get to know that okay, fine, this is what you want to be, and this is how you want to go about getting there. Yeah, so that's a pretty impressive thing, that you're
Thank
sharing
you,
with us
Ashish.
today. Well, all the best to you. Next,
Thank you.
moving on to Fawzan, we'd like to know, you started with front office and later found your calling and pursued a diploma in patisserie. How did you make
Yes.
that change and why?
अरे मेरे मारूंगा कैसे बंदे ना मेरा फोन चल गया बहुत चल गया वो तुरंत तेरे
Well,
मार
Um,
आवाज कहाँ मेरी बंद होगा
we
फिर क्या होगा
request you
um,
to put yourself on mute.
for me, it was quite a shift actually, and a shift happened because I was very much focused into front office, and I was so too much into like I was quite excited and enthusiastic about front office initially. Then the moment I got the reality check that front office is just a repetitive life, it's pretty challenging day by day, and the challenges were also repetitive. After 4 months onwards, I felt like there was the challenges were repetitive. My mistakes, whatever I was doing, were repetitive, and there was no creativity flair. It was only just dealing with the customers and emailing, and it was just the same job every day, and mostly I was losing the interest day by day. So I thought of getting more towards onto the creativity flair, having hands-on experience of something a satisfaction of an end product that I would produce in terms of a bakery product. So this was something I was quite interested into, and I wanted to relive my dream that I had when I was baking at home, and from a home baker I wanted to be a professional chef. So it was a tough decision, but the reasoning behind front office to patisserie is more of a professional creativity flair, hands-on experience. The satisfaction at the end of the day is to see the smile on your guest's face having the product that you've made.
That's
That was
true.
something that really moved me towards it.
Well, I agree with whatever you say. I mean, the industry that we come from, right, and the industry that we are in. Okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all that matters is the satisfaction that you derive from seeing that the people that you have serviced or the people you've come across today, are happy with all that you've done. So you really feel good about your efforts that you've made, right?
Yeah.
So then that's a part of each and every day of our lives.
And so Ashish's screen is frozen again.
I guess so. So how are you doing, Fazan?
Doing pretty well. How about you? Thank you.
Being in hospitality. and that's exactly that
You
ends up
get
building
Pretty fast.
Sorry, Ashish, we lost you. Could you just repeat that for us?
yes, back on. So, I mean, I was saying that at the end of the day, all that matters is, the smile on a guest's face, because,
Yeah,
you know that you really put in a lot of efforts, and at the end, if you're appreciated for it, I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, you just feel
totally.
that at the end of the day, somewhere down the line, those guests, they're not only guests, they're not
Frozen again.
yeah.
just your customers. You end up making, a bonding, and they end up becoming. Really sorry, I'm quarantined at home. My network is really bad. Please bear with me.
Sure.
Um,
That's
I'm,
fine.
I'm extremely sorry. It was very embarrassing, but yeah. So I'll just try to, just
Hi,
try
Sana.
to.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Hi, ma'am.
So
Yes,
Yes,
Ashish.
Ashish.
So my question to Fauzan was, and Sanal, to both of you, is that how has Anjuman-I-Islam helped you build the foundation that you needed to grow further?
Fauzan would like to go first.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Well, Anjuman Islam has a lot of a role in my life in terms of forging my pathway into this field of hospitality and coming up until now as a pastry chef in Dubai. I joined Anjuman Islam with the dream to become a chef. I graduated as a front office group coordinator, and then during campus, we were trained for every single thing. Like all the 3 years from start, like from first year onwards, you're absolutely disciplined in terms of your grooming, in terms of your perspective about where you want to be after you graduate, what department you want to choose by the time you reach the third year. I mean, every professor has a role in my life, to be honest, and I really like to acknowledge and really would like to thank them because it's a life that I lived in Bombay as well as in Melbourne altogether. The Cordon Bleu didn't teach me in terms of the grooming standards or something. Anjuman Islam was the place where we were literally told to follow grooming instructions properly. So that is one thing. Grooming, dressing up immaculately has been a big major part of Anjuman Islam. Has also, in terms of shown me that where I need to see myself in the future. Also, when we were in campus, when we were on campus, we used to have webinars, seminars in terms of career growth, um, in terms of consultancies and for further studies. Well, I would like to say kudos to the training and placement team in terms of giving us the opportunity to at least have a look at that point of time. Definitely, I worked for 6 months and then moved to Melbourne, but it was on campus where I had the gist of it, that what I had to do exactly after passing out from Anjuman Islam. And also kudos to training and placement for one more thing in terms of uh, forging my way up until here is I got my internship at a place where I really wanted to be at. Like when I saw Trident Bandercola from my outside, I was like, I want to train out here, no matter what. definitely I cracked the interview that was in my hand, but it was the college which has arranged me, that interview for me, even the campus recruitment and everything. I had a very smooth journey from Anjuman-I-Islam. And ever since I entered Anjuman-I-Islam, I don't think so I've ever looked behind. I've only grown forward. So for me, for further studies, well, even when I was in India, it really mattered a lot to me, and it still matters. And I'm very proud to be a student of that college. I was very good in terms of academics in all the 6 semesters, and something that is I have a lot of academic accolades as well. But it was the teachers and my grooming and whatever I could grasp the most out of it. It's the result of it today. So thank you so much, and it's been a great journey with Anjuman-I-Islam, and it plays a very important role in my life altogether. Thank you.
When you talk about grooming standards, I'd like to add there that I mean, yes, the grooming standards were very critical, very crucial part of Anjuman-I-Islam. Like because
Well,
every morning you woke up, you had to wake up at 5:30
Just
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
morning,
I know.
and you got to stay each and every day. Just don't go by our looks right now. I mean, we're
it's a
right now,
great
but
business to the cobbler outside. Firstly, I would say it's a great business to the cobbler who sits outside the gate. And the moment you enter the college gates, you see only officers standing, checking you from top to bottom. They don't even leave your socks. They check both the
I
legs.
know.
Students, FYI, they check both the legs. So please don't wear white socks in one
And
and black
and
socks
black
in
is
the other one. That can never
I
allow
know.
you to, climb the stairs up. There are teachers standing like officers, and your ID card will be gone, and then forget about your exam. So it's damn strict. That's how you really take care of your grooming, and that's how you carry forward that particular legacy into
initially,
hotels.
Initially, it will sound very monotonous, it will sound very difficult, and it would even annoy you to a point that you might think that, why did I choose this? But then, yeah, I mean, if you go to see, these are
Ashish's
Uh,
screens.
yeah.
Frozen
I
again.
would like to add that punctuality was another thing that if you're even a minute late, you're not allowed to
these two
enter.
things are really important, and these are the things that are considered when you're
Yes, Ashish.
so, Samal, anything to add to this?
Yeah, I would say it was really they showed a great balance between theory and practical work. So we have the opportunity to go into the lab actually and do all the hands-on work that we would be doing out in the field. And you also have to organize events like valedictory eve, Magna. I was the vice president of the marketing and editorial team during our Magna days. And this whole event is so important to you. There were days we all used to stay back and work hard just to make it successful. So yeah, it has never been an individual effort, to be frank. We equally got support from teachers, other
Yeah.
students, and our coordinator. All this will make you think differently and to come up with new ideas, innovate, to work on your strategies, to do proper planning. In short, I would say it develops your personality overall. And also, yeah, I would say you get to learn at Anjuman what you need to learn to be successful in
Yeah,
hospitality industry.
most importantly.
But by coming out and doing the internship program that they offer, and trust me, that's where I fell in love with food and beverage department. Well, no doubt they also take us through every department, right from food and beverage, housekeeping, food production, front office, and even HR. So when you come out, you will be the most desired student that you can possibly be, like a complete package. And I've seen many students securing their position during my internship at the organization through their passion and hard work. So yeah, if I was to recommend something or suggest something to the students, just take your internship seriously, give your best shot, and then that'll help you.
Even I was the vice president for editorial department in 2016.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
And it's also adding on to the point of human resource. As a trainee, it's every trainee's dream to get into human resources, actually.
I know, I agree to it.
All right. So, I mean, that's really good to see, that change in you all from the time you all started, in the first year of college till, where you all are right now. So well polished and well. I mean, you all have put in a lot of effort in yourselves and in
Just for some.
Yeah, I think so. We've lost. Hey, he's back.
Yeah.
And he has like serious internet issues. Huh?
Literally, yeah. Oh, I heard you were comparing and hosting during your valedictory.
Yeah, that was yeah, it was really fun. It was in 2015. That was my first time.
that is happening today. I'm really not getting my wife.
Yeah, like I was saying, it was in the year 2015. That was the first time I stood at a stage and I spoke in front of a big crowd.
It takes a lot of guts.
It was
I mean,
scary.
for Magna, I can still understand that people are moving here and there. And,
I did for Magna also.
but valedictory, they're just staring at you. They have your eyes on you and you're being judged.
I remember I was getting an award also that year. I remember my mother sitting in the front row and I'm like, oh my God, I just can't get through this event now.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Simon, ma'am here. How are you all, boys? Nice to hear you all.
Very well, ma'am. Good to hear your voice, ma'am.
All good, all good. I can hear you all. Okay, now, till the time Ashish comes back, Fauzan and Kanal, could you kind of help our students out, by letting them know how to approach, we don't want to know the agencies and all. So how is it that they go about, how is it that they make up their minds, they decide on what to kind of take on and what is the approach? I mean, like for example, you had your IELTS, you had your TOEFL exams that you have to prepare, you know what I mean?
Yes,
so, and the kind of living expense that you have to incur there, okay? And or then you could also explain about your hands-on experience the first time you got into the country. So, I mean, because generally they think, that it's going to be rosy and glamorous and I'm going to have fun there. They don't realize how hard you would have to in order to, meet up standards. So could you just give us a little gist about what is it you are doing and what was your
Perfect, ma'am. We'll do that. So Fauzan, why don't you
experience
start?
you got into the country, but prior to
Yes, ma'am.
I believe ma'am is asking us to share the experience.
Yes, please.
Well, I'd like to begin on that. In terms of approaching, in terms of getting through the agents, you have there are lots of webinars, seminars happening in our institute as well. In terms of, there are a lot of consultants, like proper consultants, who really help students in terms of, looking up about the colleges and the processes in terms of the visas. So first you need to find a very good consultant, a proper apt consultant. Then the consultant will give you an idea about the course and something that you would say what exact course you want to pursue with. Then in that, the consultant will give you an idea about the IELTS score. There's a specific criteria for an IELTS score that is set as per the university, minimum being 6.5 bands. So then you have to register yourself on IELTS. And then once you register, your exam happens within a month, and it's a set of 2 exams. One is speaking, and it's a set of this IELTS has a set paper with regards to appearing for it, and it's divided into 2 parts. One is speaking. It either happens before the main big exam, or it happens after that big exam. Then once your IELTS score comes through, then your agent collects all the documents and then sends it across to the university. And I believe from here on, Sanal can take you forward in terms of the application processes as well.
Yes, thank you, Fauzan. And I totally agree with him. One should be very careful while choosing an agency. There are a lot of fake ones out there. So if you want to verify it, then you can do it directly through the college or university that you have applied for, because they do help students and they know if they are associated with those agencies. So that's one way. And so as said, I would say it's not difficult, but yes, it requires thorough preparations. It will not
academic science, actually, basically.
Yes, and for those who think that passing IELTS test will provide you with any work, that's wrong. It won't just a requirement to study and work in English-speaking countries. And moreover, so as he said, once you get IELTS result, submit all your documents to your consultant, including your the secondary school certificate, higher secondary, your BSc certificates, and if you have worked somewhere, they might ask you for the work experience letter as well. And there are also possibilities that your college may ask for a notarized color paper, the copy of it, of each document that you're submitting, which will state that yes, it's a genuine one. So I would say you can do it through any advocate who is authorized to. So I would tell you here, the main job of the consultant is to guide you or help you through the application. Rest everything, it's on you. You have to take care of, from IELTS to getting the documents notarized. So the next step would be, so after you submit your documents to the agency, they will forward it to the university or the college. It usually takes 30 to 60 days to receive an update on it. I would say meanwhile, you should, you should be, you should focus on or sort out your finances. So if you're if you're planning for Canada, then make sure you have 1 year tuition fee and 10,200 Canadian dollars for your GIC. So already in hand to be transferred. So GIC is basically guaranteed investment certificate for those who don't know. And I would say that's just a Canadian government's way to ensure that your students have enough money to, sufficient funds to support their expenses in the course of your higher studies, and don't fall into any illegal activities to, earn your living. And I'm sure you guys must be thinking that you get a nice luxurious car with that much money in hand. I would say yes. Trust me, even I thought of doing that. That's a different thing. My mom would have killed me. But some wise man said, invest in your future, you will get the returns and luxuries too. So yeah, that's what I did it for myself. And so yeah, so meanwhile, if you're planning to take a loan from the bank, that will even take much longer time. It would take 30 to 60 days more. So I would suggest during this period, call up your bank, inquire upon what all documents they need, and you keep all the documents ready to submit it to your bank. So once you receive the offer letter, you can process with your loan and pay your tuition fee and transfer the GIC amount to the Canada. And after that, you can start with your visa application. So meanwhile, you have to do your medicals and biometrics too alongside, because you need all of that document, and also visa SOP, that is statement of purpose, which is very important, which is just all about sharing your experiences and giving a firm statement, or a reason why you're eligible for any particular country you're going, and why do you want to study there, and where is it. So your consultant will have a format. They will guide you through. You'll have to make sure you have it right though, and submit it all. I'd say it just takes 30 to 45 days from then to for them to make a final decision on your visa application. And yeah, that's pretty much all when it comes to the process while applying here. So once your visa is approved, you can just book your flights, and yeah, and I would love to share my personal experience here. So I did a lot. So in my case, I did a lot of research online. I have few of my friends in Ontario too. So they advised me that if I could personally go and check out the infrastructure of the place, like be it nearby place, nearby public transport, or is there any nearby supermarkets, and finalize it rather than doing it online from India. So where you know nothing about the locality, to be frank. And hence I decided to rent a house for 3 to 4 days through one of the portals in Prior. So it was not at all expensive, to be frank, as my first priority was to find accommodation when I came to Canada. So from the next day, I went to places. I got in contact with many people who posted the advertisement on the marketplace, and I finally found one, a decent one, at least to start with initially, to be frank. And my second priority was to find a job. So I had already carried 10 to 20 resumes, you won't believe. 10 to 20 resumes along with me. I knew, and I had this in my mind that that once I land, I have to go to places and drop in my CV. And to be honest, I had kept my options open. So I was trying as a cashier in the retail stores, restaurants, or as a warehouse associate. As you know, beggars can't be choosers. So within 15 to 20 days, I got a job here. I got a call from a couple of places, but I also had a friend who is an ex-Anjumanite. And we are everywhere, we are like a family. So through him, I got through one of the restaurants, and that's how I got my job. And yeah, I also believe that you can also pay off your tuition fee just by working part-time. I'm sure you guys must be thinking, then how do you manage to pay your rents, transportation cost, and everything? That's the main reason you took a part-time job, right? I mean, the money you get from the part-time work, use it wisely, just for your basic needs, and to pay off all your bills and save the GIC that you get every month. Trust me, you can pay off all your tuition fee by yourself. And I did that. I've enrolled for my second program, which is supply chain and logistics. That's all about it. But yeah, to be frank, in my case, even the classes was flexible from Tuesday to Thursday. So it allows you to have other commitments too, like if you want to do part-time jobs, study on your assignments, etc. Yeah.
Long story
Not
short,
easy. It's not easy.
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Long story short, it looks very flowery on the other end, but it's actually damn difficult when you reach the moment you reach. You are like, it's damn confusing and you don't know what you're going to do with your life. Life unfolds automatically, life unfolds slowly, but it's a shallow lake of choices actually.
Well said. Yeah.
What to do?
these are
Hello, Ashish. Welcome back.
I understand this. Hello. Hi. Thanks. I mean, I've found a better way now. So, I mean, thank you so much, Sanal. I mean, these are very important inputs from you, and because you're the one who has been on the forefront of all this, you have done things yourself, and you're doing really well for yourself. Because I know you personally, and I know you're doing pretty well. And that's an example that we set. And also, do not worry for all the viewers who are interested in studying further. All right, I'm sure. I mean, in any country you go to, I'm sure there's always an Anjuman-I. All right, so you can always, and they're always going to help you out. All right. Recently I spoke to someone in New Zealand. I got in touch with someone in Australia, and so on and so forth. Channels in Canada. I mean, there's going to be quite a lot of assistance that you will get. So be rest assured. All right. If if you consider studying further, if you want to take that jump, go ahead, take that jump. I'm sure one of us is always going to be there to catch hold of.
So true.
Right. So I just want to know. I mean, the next question is to one of you all. I just want to know. Why did you all choose to go through an agent, and how did you all finalize on the university?
Sanil, would you like to go ahead with that one?
So in my case, it was like I already knew what I wanted, so I started researching on the courses, and it happened to be like it happened to be in Canada that there is only two colleges that was providing this course. One was George Brown, and the other one was Centennial, which I'm into. So yeah, at that time I was working in Dubai with Marriott, and I took an annual leave and ran back to India, and I happened to visit our college, and I was having a conversation with one of our professors. So I happened to ask her if she knows like, is there any agency that you can recommend or suggest. She was so kind and generous that she helped me out there, and I went to the consultancy later. I mean, it was, I told them that I want to do the course, and they really helped me through the process overall. They assigned me a consultant, and that's how it all happened, Ash.
Well, that's great. So, I mean, yes, there is a lot of assistance that you will definitely get, if you choose to study further, or even if you're trying to pursue your, masters anywhere. And definitely there will be a lot of assistance. Even if you've completed your hospitality, you've graduated, and you've worked, for a few years, and you need any help from our professors as well, you can just drop them a call, and I'm sure you get all the assistance needed, even if you're in the country or abroad.
Also,
So, yeah.
there are a lot of, I wanted to add on one point to that, Ashish. There are a lot of consultants that have tie-ups with the colleges. So most of the time when you do the visa application, you have to pay a application fee. If the consultant has a tie-up with a specific college, basically the college which I went to, it had a tie-up with the consultant. I didn't have to pay for the visa application.
Right. Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. I mean, so that helps. I mean, that helps.
That really helps a lot.
And we have a lot of seminars
you need to
happening
ask
in college.
them. You need to ask them about it.
Yes, and there are a lot of seminars that happen in college. A lot of agents who come in. Okay, and agents in the sense well-known, reputed agencies that come in. Okay, you can always look out. You can also do your research. It's very important to also do your research. Before choosing an agency. Also, you can check with our professors. Which is a valid agency, because there are a lot of students who have already gone through those agencies. So maybe you would get quite a lot of assistance, and it becomes easier for you, right, in terms of preparing yourself.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
So, well, now you could tell me, Sanal, who's worked internationally, do you think education or further studies is mandatory, or an international exposure is mandatory?
I would say somehow yes. If you have a passion or an interest for a subject, and want to make it a career, this is where it all really starts, Ashish. Secondary schooling will have you equipped with all the basics. No doubt, after that, everything becomes more specialized. So tertiary education is the first step in your real career path. You can begin this journey anytime you like. I mean, although the sooner the better for you, as this will give you a longer career. For those who haven't been able to afford further studies, or who haven't known what they want to do in their life until now, like me, I would say it's never too late to start in pursuit of your life ambitions or happiness. Uh,
Just
in my
sounded like
case.
Will Smith.
Yeah, with the briefcase that he runs with in the movie.
I would say, like in my case, I was already qualified and started with my career. Well, this doesn't mean that there isn't room for further study. It's always important to remain current in your career and to keep developing personally. I'm not saying it's mandatory to do your further study from a university or a college, but if you do, it's well and good, because I know many of them drop the plan due to personal reasons. And in that case, if not this, then at least do some online certification courses related to your interest, so that it still shows that you have taken effort out here to stay current in the market. But yeah, the more well-rounded your education, the richer your career will be, no doubt.
To that, yeah.
And a few of the personal learnings apart from this would be how to be self-sufficient. It's likely you had to fend for yourself a bit more than you're accustomed to. I mean, being much farther away from friends and family, it naturally begs you to become one. I hope, Ashish, you remember, how good I was in kitchen back then in college.
Wouldn't
Uh,
want to remember.
Don't
trust me,
remind me
guys.
of my kitchen practical days, man.
Trust me, guys. I'm a much better chef now. I mean, no. So now when I send Ashish the photos of the dish that I cook for myself, he goes all like, "Ah, Sanal, don't lie. It would be your friend or who cooked, or maybe you ordered it from online nearby restaurant or something. But it's not you for sure." He doesn't believe me, and and I don't blame him for that, because I remember it was initial days of our college. He was standing next to me during our practicals, and we were sorting the mushroom, and I happened to burn it a bit. It's actually a bit that the whole kitchen could smell it.
Good, the
So
fry alarm didn't ring though.
no, I'm glad it didn't. So the way he stared at me that time, I still remember. I swear, if it would have been a girl, then I would have fallen in love already. So, so yeah, that I was like, dude, actually, I like the burnt flavor, that taste. And so, don't take me wrong. I know how to cook, but yeah.
You reminded me of all my burnt practicals, by the way.
So,
Also, I mean, at the end of the day, if there was any sort of any dish that we're making, for example, bakery items or something of that, so they will contestants will always ensure that they perfect, because they would make us buy it
Yeah.
in the end, right?
that's
And you would want to take that to your family because you've actually made that yourself, and maybe just one small brownie that you've made, okay, but you'd still be proud enough to take it and take it to your family,
Yeah, by the way, Anjuman brownie
right?
recipe is
And
very nice. I must say
very
that.
nice. Yeah.
Very, very nice. I remember I took my friend's brownie also, and I ate it in the class itself.
Yeah, man.
yeah, I
So
mean,
huge respect and hats off to all the chefs out there. It requires a lot of hard work and patience. I mean, it was never my cup of tea, or maybe I would say not my area of interest. I don't have so much of patience though. But you need to have that passion in you, and it's not easy task. Trust me, it's not an easy task.
It's
Yeah.
not. Ask me. It was
all
a
right. So
nightmare.
also I'd like to add that to the point, Sanal, that not just, I mean, for people who are interested in studying further, I mean, and for whatever reasons your financial background does not support you, do not be disappointed. That's okay. That's still fine. You can still keep up with the trend. And there's a lot happening in today's culture as well. I mean, in
Exactly.
terms of hospitality. I mean, there's a lot happening. You learn as you go. And, if you're still persistent in studying further, you can always collect the money while you're working, while you're excelling in your profession. And, you can pursue, you can go abroad, study further, or even if you have the course available in India, you could still do that. So, I mean, there's really nothing stopping you from getting there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
Right.
that's
So,
right.
true.
That's
That's
absolutely
true.
right.
That's true.
great. So, before moving on to the technicalities of further studies, I'm eager to know that, what has been that one moment which was hilarious as well as had a learning experience. Because, we Italians are not all work and no play.
Oh yes. Oh
Uh,
yes. I have a lot.
you want to go first?
Go for it.
Oh my God, I have like one very hilarious moment. Um, since I used to love writing my exams, I used to feel that, those 2.5 hours, I owned them completely. That too, like the teacher might get bored reading my paper because it's like, it's not rote learning or anything. It's just, I'm so enthusiastic while writing the paper. And yeah, so it was some paper. And I have this habit of, if I have a lot of, I write a lot in every answer is huge, like 2 pages minimum. So if I have some questions left, and basically there are times when I used to know the entire paper. I knew the entire paper. So I used to leave some answers. I used to write a bit, and I used to complete my paper. And in the last 10 minutes before underlining everything, I used to finish my answers. So one fine paper was on a Saturday in college. I was in the second year. After this was my second year, I did my training first, and then I appeared for the fourth semester exams. So this teacher at 1 p.m. she takes my paper. She's like, "Give your paper." I'm like, "I still have to finish this answer, and the bell didn't ring yet." She's like, "No, give the paper." The bell rang. I'm like, "No, I didn't hear it. I'm not gonna give until I finish my paper. I still have to write that one answer. It is very important for me." So the teacher, she knows me well. She knows me well that I'm gonna finish the paper. But then the teacher's like, no, the teacher was very adamant enough to, snatch the paper from my hand. I'm like, I'm not giving the paper because of the bell. I didn't hear the bell yet. Then we kept on arguing for a minute. Then later she got so tired of me. She's like, okay, finish that paper. But just to give you a heads up, today's a Saturday. There's no bell ringing on the campus. It's the watch that you need to look at. So that was quite a learning experience for me at that point of time. It's, no matter how excited you are to write your paper, I mean, I used to study only the last moment, that last one night when, the syllabus is seen for the first time. And it
When
was
you
very
open your book.
daunting and it was very daunting and it was fun because, I used to pay a lot of attention in class, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, like after that, I've been like adhering to the time and I don't hear the bell. I look at the watch after that. That was pretty much hilarious. I still meet the teacher and I laugh with her actually.
Well, it's a very funny experience because I'd like to tell all the viewers, if you have an exam on Saturday, please ensure that, you remember that there
You
is
take
no
your
bell.
watch. You take your watch along. Otherwise, you end up fighting or losing the marks.
All right, Sanal, would you
Okay.
like to take the lead
Yeah,
here?
I would love to. I still remember it was during the end of first semester. I mean, prior to our exams, I happened to ask one of our professors if I can get all the important questions for our upcoming exam. And yeah, I literally got fired for it. Well, I won't blame her because I was the one who asked the stupid question. But where she said, "What do you mean by important questions, son? Everything is important." But she was so sweet that by the end of the day, she didn't want to disappoint us. She decided to give us all a question bank. So now this is where the funny part is. Okay, it consisted of 90 to 100 questions,
My God.
and when I look at it now or think about it, I realize it was actually the whole syllabus in the name of question bank. So all we need is a reason or a push. I swear wouldn't have studied the whole syllabus if it wouldn't have been the question bank. So yeah, all thanks to her.
No, but
That's,
the question papers are pretty fun, huh, by
Okay.
the way. There are a lot of options also. It's fun. When
that's
you
true.
skip some chapters, you still have your options left.
All right. So, Fauzan, I'd like to ask you, for someone who has made a switch to follow passion, could you tell us what should one consider before choosing a course, or before making the decision there, before deciding whether to choose this or rather go in for that? So, what is it that you need to have? What mindset do you need to have?
I mean, first, you should do what you really want to do. Like, you really dream about something. It's very important to dream in this particular case. You dream about being someone, seeing yourself as a pastry consultant, or being an entrepreneur in the field of patisserie. So when you dream about that, so you need to have a plan of your own. You need to be very focused about it. You need to see what the course is all about. What are the end results of the course? So that's how, I mean, that gives you the right idea about choosing the course. And having said that, you need to also go through the exact, you need to carry forward through the line. You cannot be the manager. You cannot be a CDP or demi chef de partie the moment that you graduate. You need to have all the hands-on experience in terms of living that. Coming back to the question, you need to be very focused. You need to have an entire plan drafted, that this would be the first step, followed by the rest of the steps of how during the course you will be, what you will be learning, and how will you be applying for the jobs. Will the campus will be helping you? Because before applying for a specific course, it's all mentioned that the campus will be helping or not in terms of finding an internship, or most of the place in most of the universities, the internship that you do is your job. They hire you there and there. So you need to look at the technicalities of that, and being very certain about what you want to become. It's not just you're taking a course just to get that degree. The course is all your dream is that will come into existence one fine day. It will be difficult, but definitely if you have a certain plan, you will make your way up there. I have achieved my 5-year plan, to be honest. Ever since I started Anjuman, I achieved my 5-year plan. Now I'm on the second 5-year plan.
That's great. Very impressive and very inspirational to know that at such a young age, you've already achieved your 5-year plan, and you already have a second 5-year plan. That's very inspiring of
It
you.
looks very difficult at this stage, though.
Okay. So, I mean, I'd like to know, what is it that our college has taught you that you have made a routine to follow?
Sorry, can you say again?
What is it that a college has taught you that you made a routine to follow?
Well, college has taught me a lot, to be honest, in terms of this. I don't have a balance in terms of, I live a professional life itself. I'm very particular about my uniform even now, and punctual. Give respect to my seniors. A lot of deference comes into existence, and not to get scared about the obstacles that come my way. That is something. That is something which is very important that I learned from Anjuman. It was difficult for me because I shifted from Kuwait at that time. And then hotel management, we think of joining hotel management, we see the flowery side, but it's absolutely intense. It's a very professional field. It's
It
not
is,
a
it
9
is.
to 5 college of only lectures. It's a 9 to 5 college, a cocktail of lectures, practicals of different subjects in a day's time. So one thing I've learned is to, you know, just adapt into situations, being very polite and very calm most of the times. So yeah, that is something I learned a lot from Anjuman, and I look forward to carry forward the legacy what I've learned from.
That's very sweet of you. Also, Sanal, would you like to add to it?
Yeah, I would say it teaches you skills that you could not learn anywhere else. I mean, say it teaches you how to prioritize, how to be a responsible person, to be independent. I mean to how to communicate, about humility, and about how people act when they are seriously hungry, like monsters, but still, how to keep your smile on your face. And the main thing was punctuality and proper grooming. I still remember we were not allowed to enter college premises after 9 a.m. Even if a minute late, you're going back home. I mean, and now when I go to work, My owner is like, you still have 30 to 45 minutes for your shift to start. Why do you come so early? Are you okay? And how do I explain that it's an old habit? Uh, so these are few things that I've learned from our institute. I'm really proud of it. Ashish, and
It's
Yeah,
more
well, I
like it
agree.
reminds me of when I used to work at the Oberoi. There used to be a William Shakespeare quote on the wall: I rather be 3 hours early than be 3 minutes late." And I used to laugh at it whenever I used to see that, but we actually followed that.
Well, I mean, that's how it is. This industry actually trains you. I mean, from the beginning itself, from the initial days, you learn to be a lot other things than just service oriented or anything as
Yeah.
such. I mean, you become professional in all its ways. Become punctual. Become a people's person. And become a salesperson. Become a lot of things. And that's exactly what this entire curriculum takes you through. It's not just it's not just food and beverage. It's not just food production or housekeeping or front office. You get trained for everything. Personality development and
Absolutely.
your communication skills and a lot of things. So I mean, our professors are right there, and they're there all throughout the day. Trying and breaking down each and everything to you, coming to our level and explaining things, and that's what exactly makes the difference. But so
To be
Agree.
honest, that was so. I mean, to be honest, the grooming was so strong that I sit in a poise at home also. That my parents have to tell me, "Dude, you're at home. Sit however you want. You're not in the office or something."
well, now it's it's within you, so you're not going to change that, and that's really good.
Never. I don't think so. I'll be able.
Sometimes I sit on a sofa and I sit in the group discussion position. Keeping your hands on your lap.
Right.
That's how our teachers used to teach us.
I'm currently sitting in that position now, so yeah. All right, so we're almost at the end of our webinar, and I will encourage everyone to ask questions if there are any. I mean, any relevant questions to further studies, or anything to do with the course, even hotel management for that matter. Anyone?
Okay, so we have one in the chat, which I'd like to
Right.
go ahead with. What is the great benefit of doing post-graduation after working for several years in the industry? Likewise, if we don't do post-graduation in the specialization we want, then it would be beneficial or not? How does it go? It's like doing post-graduation or not doing post-graduation at all. Thank you, Tuba, for your question.
Yeah. Sorry.
Would Sanal like to go for it? Because
Sanal would
given the fact,
he
yeah,
sounds
because
much better for this kind of a question. He has
So,
that many years of experience.
I would say yes, it does matter, and especially when you have an international experience. Especially, I would suggest that you go for one. Especially, it will supply you with many direct and indirect skills that your future employers may find attractive. Especially your willingness to learn and the ability to adapt to new cultures, and especially your education, the qualification that you have got, international degree. So it does matter, and that's more of when it comes to the self-development part of it. It will help you grow independent and adaptable, more open-minded individual. So I would say yes. In a way, I would say yes. Go for the post-graduation degree. Even if you not specialize it, it will still be. The employers will still look into such categories because you have moved out of your comfort zone, and the growth comes when you're put in a new environment. It is important to be curious and take yourself out of the comfort zone. So yeah, you'll have the opportunity to meet new people and go for it.
You're multifaceted, basically. You have more of an exposure, and the employer will be happy to hire you.
Thank you, Sanal, for your input. And another one here from Mr. Sachin is work environment difference in India and international hotels. So I'm guessing
As I
the
said
difference in
again,
cultures of working in the two
yeah,
countries
as I
and abroad. If you could throw a little light on that.
It's actually, Sanan, I would like to go on this one.
yes, please go for it, Fauzan.
It's actually different from India, Australia, and Middle East also. All three are different. So in India, basically, we have a lot of people in every department. It's not just like staff being 10 people in a team. There might be many, and there might be many trainees under them. When I was in Australia, we were around 4 people: executive pastry chef, sous chef, and the 2 interns under those 2 people. So I could even see the executive pastry chef doing the production, sous chef doing the production, and the plating for the functions. It was very much like there was no hierarchy followed. Everyone is doing the same kind of a job, and the shift used to start on time, end on time. That was something work-life, but there was something that place I noticed that there was a lot of work-life balance. Moving to Dubai, it's a bit different. It's very quite similar to India, but it's not as extreme as India. In India, there's no time limit. There is no time limit. You just start at a particular. There's a time to start, but
To
there's no
start,
time
yeah.
to end.
And
There's no time to end. But and that's kind of similar in Dubai as well. But at some point of time, they tell you to go home. In India, nobody dares to tell you to go home. Most of the time, your work starts when it's time for you to leave. That has happened with
true.
me.
That's true.
Great. So I think even Sanal, would you like to throw some light there?
Yes, but it's more over what I said. It will, just it will just improve your communication skill and just grow your personality overall. And I would say it widen your scope as well nationally and internationally. The work culture is completely different because just you meet new people, new culture. You have an opportunity to make lasting friendship with a diverse group of people here, both from around the world and your host country. So how they work, how the people work in their own country. So you get to learn a lot of stuff from this. Um, so yeah, that is more out of it, I would say, Ashish.
Right. Great. So Sanal, we've got two more. Sanal and Fauzan, we've got a few questions here. One is any advice to the 2020 batch, as most of us have lost jobs and parents think it's currently unsafe to travel either to work or to study because of the virus?
Well, I would say that I'm sure you guys are very much worried with whatever is happening globally. Well, not a day goes by that we hear information on coronavirus and tourism, hospitality businesses. But the truth is that pandemic is temporary and it shall pass. The fact that we all know hospitality industry is one of the fastest growing businesses all over the world that generates billions of money and offers plenty of new career and employment to various background. I would say they are the largest contributors to the world economy. So yeah, you don't have to worry about it. It's just a matter of time. Have some patience. I know. Just continue to plan for the future, as well as take steps to reduce long-term damage from coronavirus. I would say so. Please do stay safe and stay healthy. Then that is.
So, I also like to add to it. As you mentioned that you a lot of people who have lost their jobs. Okay, this effect is just temporary. Given the fact that I'm a restaurant manager I know it's for us to even lay off people is very difficult, and we are of the opinion that once the situation, I think it won't be too long. Once the situation is has actually stabilized, we will hire the people that we've laid off. I mean, our own people or the people that we have hired and we have to wait. So it's basically not canceling your job applications. It's more like putting them on hold at many places. But also once and see if you go to see, a lot of people have traveled back to their own to their own villages, right? So when the operations begin, all right, then most likely they will not be able to come back to work, all right. So you're definitely going to stand a lot of opportunities. There's going to be a lot of opportunities open, and at that time, the company would also be willing to pay, because we're going to be in need of people. Because very soon, post monsoon, we'll be entering into the season period of hospitality. That's when we make a lot of money. We make that's when the business is better, right? So I mean, just give it a couple of months. I hope that everything stabilizes within a couple of months, and we're all back on our feet. Travel will begin. International travel will begin. So you just have to let this phase pass.
Yeah, and then it's not for the first time that this industry is dealing with such crisis or viruses, or because it has been we have dealt this even earlier. For example, the SARS, this virus
Yeah.
impacted the country, like the industry percent decline in hotels booking, or like there was more than 50% of decline in hotel bookings back then. So which led to drop of like more than 10 million international tourist arrivals. But then despite of that above mentioned facts, I would say hospitality industry managed to register immense growth by 2006. So yeah, and to keep
It's a,
some hopes. Yeah, nothing.
All right.
it's a,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sanal, for really shedding light. And it's important to be positive during these times.
yeah.
Okay, and also be optimistic. And when we first started with our webinar, Tête-à-Tête, last webinar as well, we discussed with Gopal Kamath, one of the most experienced industrialists. He has also said that this time will pass, and I mean, coming from people like him, you really have some kind of hope that we will all rise again. So
Yes.
just relax, and things will definitely fall in place. All right.
True that.
Moving
That's
on.
absolutely right.
Thank you. So moving on to the last question. Also, I mean, be rest assured, if I mean, just because it's the last question doesn't mean that you cannot ask us questions. We're always available on LinkedIn, or you can get our contact information and always get in touch with us. We're more than welcome. Right. So a last question is, after completing, how easy or difficult it is for you to study and work together, as many Indian hotels want that culture to be practiced. So, what will be your say on the same?
I would say especially the difficulty of your courses while studying abroad really depends heavily on which program you study. And some programs are academically rigorous as your home
Yeah.
institute, and some provides even research and intern programs. So during that time, it becomes very difficult. That most probably a bit easier than whatever school you call your home campus. The idea to study abroad is to have a balanced school and travel in a way that opens your eyes to other culture. So you get time here. So the course which I am doing, I said it's a very flexible course. You have to just go to classes from Tuesday to Thursday, and spend for yourself studying, or you can do your part-time job. It is still difficult to manage both things together, no doubt, because you have got a lot of assignments and projects to work on. But then eventually you'll have to set your priorities accordingly. uh,
Sometimes the college is also, just to adding on to the point,
yeah,
sometimes the college is also very supportive in terms of choosing, giving you an opportunity to choose your days as well. My
that's
days were Monday to Wednesday. Actually, I had 4 days in with me. So Monday to Wednesday college, 4 days part time or explore the city. It's all with you. Most of the times, the college is very flexible in terms of your
that is
days
it
on
is.
campus, because they have other students to cater as well. So you can really have a great work part-time job as well. Even part-time job has such specific days. Just adding on to that. So it's very much flexible internationally.
It does depend upon the job. But yes.
Very well, and I think most of our questions have been answered. Once again, I'd like to tell you all that if you have any further questions, you can always get in touch with Sanal, Fauzan, myself. We're all available on LinkedIn, or you could even get in touch with our professors. They would definitely suggest to you the right things. Right. So here we are towards the end, and I think all of you have been answered, and this brings us to the end of the webinar. And I sincerely thank you, Sanal and Fauzan, for sharing your valuable insights with all of us today. Despite our varied time zones, you all have been there, and we've been as informative and to make it as interesting as possible for our viewers. So I really hope that this has helped. You both took the role of a guardian by shedding light on the future course of action for the budding talents. And I'm sure this webinar will benefit many aspiring hoteliers and the likes. We Anjumanites are in every sense spread across the globe. So, we just do not worry about going to any country. I'm sure you get all the help needed. And I'll take this opportunity to thank our principals, Roxana ma'am and Harish sir, and the entire management faculties for letting us conduct this webinar. Without them, we would not have been able to do it. So keep watching keep watching us for the next webinar as we bring you more exciting alumni to share their expertise with you. Anjumanites rock. God bless. Stay safe and stay safe.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Sanal. Thank you, Fauzan. In spite of the time difference zones, you all were here and enlightened our future students and the current students as well. So, well, this is the team webinar signing off for today. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Goodbye.